So some days ago, during my meditation, a picture popped up in my mind, how it is, something you don't expect at all. And the picture's about a school cone. I guess a school cone, you don't know what it is, right? And I give you the history of that. In Germany and in some East European countries, and in Bavaria and in Austria and such, when children entering elementary school, or even sometimes as practiced in the GDR in East Germany, when entering kindergarten or preschool, they receive a big, or in case of entering the preschool, a small school cane. And the school cane is originated back in 1810. At that time, people used small paper cones that you could get in shops where people put little sweets, sugar cones. The tradition started in central Germany and has been developed to a ritual soon after in whole Germany and then surrounding countries. So now you may wonder how such a school cone may look like and what is in such a school cone. I was a little bit creative the first time in my life to make a school cone, since I'm not, luckily, a mother. So this is a small school cone for somebody who is just entering kindergarten, preschool. So now you wonder what's in it. Yeah, so since the 18th century, basically it hasn't changed what people put in. The school cone maybe got a little bit bigger, and maybe the stuff inside a little bit more expensive, how it is. All right, I will open it for you. So normally the little preschool child gets it as a surprise, and on their first day of school or preschool. And there are little things like, okay, imagine a 4-year-old, something to play with. I did this preschool cone for a Buddhist child. A kata to welcome or greet your first teacher. A mala for reciting Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay, so, as a child you need some sweets, right? A notebook for writing down your first ABC, your first memories, or how you say, notes from your first teachings. Normally you receive an ABC book, we call it Fibel in Germany, where you learn how to write and read the ABC. So you need a reading sign, right? That's called, how you call that?
Bookmark.
Bookmark. And then you need the vocabulary booklet. So I have a German version, Vokabelheft, where you can put in maybe Tibetan vocabulary, or in my case, English vocabulary for learning all the difficult philosophical terms. Then, okay, as a Buddhist practitioner, maybe we don't need that, but school kids need that, a ruler. You want to see more? A pen. And if you get a little bit more advanced, maybe a counter. So these gifts evoke, maybe, hopefully, some excitement in us kids, and maybe would do too in us when entering the Buddhist path. When we, for example, receive our first mala or our first Dharma book. So later I was wondering a bit why this came up in the middle of my meditation. I think as a Buddhist practitioner, we are practicing day and night, and we don't get acknowledged for entering preschool level or elementary school level, right? So nobody gives us a gift when you finish transforming certain levels of afflictions, when you have mastered to stay on your object for 1 whole minute, or just stay with 10 seconds. Or when you are without hesitation able to generously offer your time for offering service, whatever task you are asked for. We just do it. So of course, you kind of now, when you improved in your practice and when you're more generous, when you're more kind, compassionate, patient, and wise, and then you know it's a turning point in your life. You are taking things now more seriously. Basically, you don't need a school, or I would say a training cone anymore. You far exceeded any need for material gifts or for celebrating a new phase in your life. Anyway, back to the original school cone. In East Germany, the school cones had pictures of fairy tales, at least in East Germany. I don't know how it was in West Germany. In West Germany, I heard that three quarter, you say, or let's say 75% of the parents and grandparents made the school cones themselves for the kids, and the rest bought it somewhere. So anyway, in East Germany, many of the school cones that you could buy had fairy tales as a cover. So, and I think you never forget how your school cone looked like. At least I think I didn't forget. So my school cone had the fairy tale of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs on it. As you know, some of you, I didn't like that so much as I liked the Little Star Money story. Anyway, I would like to share with you now, like a grandmother, the story of the fairy tale Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in a Buddhist version, because I think you can interpret these stories in a Buddhist context. Once upon a time, I will keep it short. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful, I would add or say by heart, princess, let's say a precious human life, named Snow White. We call her now Dharma. She was kind and gentle and a friend to all animals. One day, Dharma met not a charming prince, but met with the practice of loving kindness. As she sang the song of devotion about loving kindness, Dharma's evil stepmother, the queen, in this context, the embodiment of our afflictions, basically like anybody who like us, who is under the power of afflictions and ignorance, watched her singing the song of devotion. The queen was so jealous of Dharma's kind-heartedness that she ordered her huntsman, let's call it anger, to kill the young princess, or just say, wanted to hurt her. But anger couldn't bring himself to hurt Dharma. He told her to run away, far away. So the queen, let's now call her jealousy, would never find her. Dharma ran deep into the woods. She was lost and scared, but soon found herself in front of a cottage. Let's say Prachta cottage. At Sravasti Abbey. Dharma knocked, but no one was home. She slowly stepped inside. The cottage was a mess. Oops. With the help of her first friend she met on the way, or let's say her good attitudes, Dharma cleaned every nook and cranny and thought, maybe whoever lives here will let me stay. Discovering other buildings of Sravasti Abbey, she entered Gautami. Dharma found upstairs 7 little beds, maybe simple beds. She thought they belonged to children or maybe renunciate persons. Meanwhile, the 7 dwarfs were heading home from a long day of working in a jewel mine, let's say office, forest, or gardens of the Abbey. They were very tired and looked forward to get back to their bedrooms after a long day. The 7 dwarfs were surprised when they found a lay friend inside Gautami. When Dharma awoke, she was charmed by the 7 dwarfs. Now let's call them Sravasti Abbey nuns. And not dupe, sneezy, happy, grumpy, dark, bashful, or sleepy, but instead venomous Schötrin, Tapa, Semke, Schöne, Jigme, Samten, and Jesche, just to mention some of them. The dwarfs, the nuns, wanted to protect this beautiful, precious human life from all evil afflictions. So they invited Dharma to live with them. To celebrate the new friend, they chanted and meditated the night away. Back in the world, the stepmother, so jealousy, learned that Dharma was still alive. Enraged, she made a magic substance to change her appearance. Her plan was to trick this human being. Dharma, in a moment of lacking mindfulness, took one bite of the apple, means she followed her afflictions, and fell into a deep sleep of ignorance. Jealousy poisoned her mind. Anger poisoned her mind. Everything poisoned her mind, all afflictions. The nuns kept watching over her day and night, gave her guidance, admonishments, and guided her into the right direction. Then one day she awoke gradually from her deep sleep of ignorance, kissed awake not by a prince, but by loving kindness. Loving kindness broke the spell of evil deeds, and Dharma and the nuns were happy ever after. So this is the best gift of all, and I think no corn is needed.